Welcome to Plate Stack Chat. I'm very happy to say that this episode is brought to you by Rising Tide. Head to their website if you're in the UK or Europe and you want merch from your favorite creators without the US shipping fees. If you are watching this live, welcome, and thank you everyone that Peter sent over from Coffee Pods and Wads. Feel free to join in the chat below, ask your questions. And if you're listening to this after the fact, well, I'm still just happy that you're here. If you're new to the show, my name is Jason. I do have a second name, but most know me as CF Media. And each show I bring along a couple of guests and we have a chat. So let's bring them out now. So first up, welcome a man whose voice you may well have heard booming out on various competition floors at CrossFit events, or if you've decided to give High Rocks a go, and it feels like most people have at this point, well, there's a chance he was providing the music behind the decks. But maybe most relevant to this, he was one of the original hosts of Plate Stack Chat. So he's been on this show a number of times, but this is the first time as a guest. So please welcome Sam LaRoche.
Hey, that was a lovely intro. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, I really wanted at the end just to get your name wrong. To be like, oh,
Yeah.
Sam, oh sorry, yeah, no, LaRoche.
LaRoche.
Just to be like,
LaRoche.
it's been a long
That's
time.
all good. It's good to be back, man. It's great to be back.
It is great to have you back. And joining Sam and myself is someone that, as an English person, I can only describe as the Marmite of CrossFit. Some love him, some hate him, but he keeps them guessing. You know, you were angry because he did a Natty or Not video, but then he spent a day with Haley Adams and it kind of won you back. So you don't really know how to feel about him. He has been marketed as the Batman of CrossFit, and that means he's not a hero. He is a silent guardian. Silent is debatable. A watchful protector, a dark knight, but most importantly, a YouTuber. Please welcome Mr. No Rep himself, Andrew Hiller.
Damn, that was good.
Is that all right?
Yeah, how'd you prompt the Chat GPT?
Yeah, man. I need to know that stuff.
That was good.
Yeah.
Silent guardian, but not so silent.
Yeah, well, I was trying to remember the quote, and then I was like, gosh, and then the first thing is Silent Guardian. I was like, he makes YouTube videos, and he's quite animated when he makes them, and he's quite loud. So Silent Guardian doesn't quite fit. The question I do have about the intro is, Andrew, are you aware? And I don't know if ChatGTP would even be aware of Marmite.
You know, I was going to ask. Yeah, you said that. And I've had no idea what that means. What is it? Is it like a food? Is that a crappy food?
It's a food. It's like a yeast, like extract kind of paste.
It's so good.
It's
but
good.
The whole
Yeah.
Well, depends who you ask. And this is the whole thing. Their whole marketing campaign for years has been this: you either love it or you hate it. So it's just a very sort of divisive.
Do you know what
condiment.
spam is? Do you know what spam is?
Yes.
SPAM.
Yeah, man.
Spam's
Spam's good too. In fact, you could dip your spam in your Marmite if you were like. Yeah, that's exactly it. You just threw up in your mouth when you know.
But when you like it, you like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
well, they love it. It's they'll put it on everything, or like don't even have it in the house. That's the. So I thought, you know, it's quite fitting for you, Andrew, because this is the first time we've ever actually spoken like this. You know, we've exchanged quite a number of messages and things in the past. It's the first time we've really spoken. I'd say face to face, but you know what I mean. But yet, when I travel places, yours is the name where people sort of ask me, "Oh, what do you think about Hiller? Like, what's your thoughts on Hiller?" Like, more than anyone else, I get asked what I think about you.
Hey, aren't you on record saying that I'm bad for the sport of or I'm bad for CrossFit? I think you were on Coffee Pods and Wads, and you're like, "There's this."
Yeah, I heard that too.
Version of
that, Jason.
comic books. I remember.
I think you need to re-listen, because I didn't say you were bad for CrossFit, and I didn't say you were good for CrossFit. I said you're good for you, and at times that will align with what's good for CrossFit, and at other times it won't. But then I did back up with that potentially you could have a plan to take down all of CrossFit like Batman did for the Justice League. But that was for the point.
Did you happen to see the video I put up today?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you now if CrossFit sees that video, do you think that would be bad for them or good for them, or both?
I think it would be good for people that do CrossFit to see that video more than for CrossFit themselves. Well,
I think there should be like an introduction to CrossFit. So like you should watch that before you go in the gym. That would be so good.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
Sam.
It would be
Then
so
what-
good. No, I'm being deadly serious. So the first thing, when I walked in the gym, the first thing I did was buy all the stuff. I had a pair of nanos. I had some grips. I had a rope. I mean, you need a rope though, right?
The shoes
Like
are cool. I think you might need the shoes because what'd you have before, like Hoka's or like a pair of Crocs or something?
No, I wore Vans actually.
Those are good. Those would have done.
Yeah, I mean they're cool
flat.
to train in if you don't want to go running, but then I suppose nanos are good to train if you don't want to go running too, right?
Sure. And I just heard Pedro say he bought the pair of Reebok shorts and like they were garbage. They had the weird tie on them, and I think I had those same board shorts.
Yeah, I've got some
We all
pairs
made
in
those
the drawer over there.
You got a pair?
Yeah, but they were given to me when Ollie was having a big clear out, and obviously he's OG CrossFit, so he's got everything. So he's like, I gave me a load of stuff, and that was a couple of pairs of those were in there. But
do you ever have a pair of those like Hurley board shorts? HURLEY.
Yeah, they're like a subsidy of Nike, aren't they?
I think they might be right. Did you have
Yeah.
a pair?
I've got a pair. Yeah,
They're not very stretchy, are they?
they're not. I put the arse out of them at least once.
Which
I've
why
had
would
multiple
anyone
pairs.
wear those in CrossFit? But those were popular. I mean, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah,
I
I haven't been doing CrossFit that long, but I have been wearing Hurley board shorts for a while.
They're good for doing board sports, I bet.
I mean, if you want to look like a bit of an idiot, then it's good to wear them. Like, obviously, I don't look like a guy who. Sounds are in the game. Yeah, I don't look like a boarder, as you can probably tell.
I don't know, Sam.
When I hear board, is it like, boogie boarding? They got the thing and you kind of go down the beach on this little bit of water, or is it a board walk, like apparel? As in you're on the boardwalk on a beach, and it's kind of like very thin shorts that you can be comfortable in. Because either way, I don't know what they really are for.
No, well, they're certainly not for surfing, because you definitely wouldn't be able to get up in. I mean, I feel like we might
rip your butt out and you're just naked in the water.
Yeah, this is all opinion as well, so I don't want to be libeled by Hurley or anything.
Yeah, and I'm not allowed to comment when it's opinion because, as Pedro said,
absolutely.
I'm a professional fence sitter and
are.
I'm not allowed to give my opinion.
I didn't mean to agree with the fence sitter thing before you finish your comment, but you are the most professional, I'd say. I probably watched, I'd say, at least 80% of your stuff.
Well, it's not too hard because I'm not putting out much stuff these days, which is frustrating. Sorry?
I think I reached out to you at one point, and I'm like,
yeah.
Where's
I mean, honestly, like I'd love to be putting out more stuff. That would be great. It is just balancing, and actually, this is really convenient because at least it guarantees me one sort of video a week. And the reason that I've kept the kind of the plate stack chat from the old podcast that we used to do and brought it over here was the idea that you'd see this as something different on the feed. There'd be my normal videos, and then there'd be there's a plate stack chat where he has guests. The problem is just finding the time at the moment to do the other videos is increasingly difficult. And thinking of your video today, like sleep it's the kind of the only thing I can sacrifice to do more stuff. But I had a really bad start to the year, and I don't want to sacrifice sleep because I feel like I need it. He says, knowing that we started recording this at 10 o'clock at night. When
is that what time it is there?
Yeah, and I should be up at 6, so it's going to be a late one. But but now and again you can make an exception. But if it becomes the regular thing, so I will be doing the other videos because I like doing them, but they are they're a lot more time consuming. If you want to do them, well, like this, if you actually want to do research, then that takes time. Reaching out to people takes time. Like checking what everybody else has said on something takes a lot of time. So it's just time. And until I and while it is still very much a side project, I still have to work to support my family. I've still got stuff going on in life, and I've got to train myself, because that's like the balance for me. Is if I stop going to the gym myself, I don't want to be someone that talks about CrossFit and doesn't do CrossFit.
Okay, I'm out. You literally asked me to come on knowing that I haven't done CrossFit for a while.
Yeah, I know, but
Do you just am I like the baseball you're just throwing at Hiller right now, and he's like gonna?
I don't think I really
knock me
do
out of
that.
the
I was
park, right?
interested in what this DJing thing you got going on is. I tried to you had said something like, I look forward to hanging out with you on the chat, and I responded to your Instagram message, and I got something like, if you want any sort of DJing, and I'm like, what is this? I was just trying to say what's up.
Yeah.
No, it's an auto response. So that's my auto response. Because I'm trying to spend a bit less time. Yeah, I'm trying to spend a bit less time on social media and a bit more time in person with actual people. He says on a podcast with people on a screen.
It almost cost you your spot on here, because I sent you a message and I got that response back, and then I was like, "Oh."
Did you take that personally?
No, I was just thinking, do I send him a message actually to his phone because I've got his phone number, or do I send it to somebody else and offer them the spot? And I was like, and then before I had a chance to make a decision, he replied. So he's clearly not spending that much time on social media, because it was a very quick reply.
Sam,
there are only a few people.
Do you have like your own DJ equipment? I'm assuming, right? And you kind of like What kind of speakers do you use?
What do I personally use? So I actually hire them in. My
do?
friend, yeah. So my friend, I'm really good friends with a production guy who sorts out all our production. So he has they're like Martin Audio, which I think are made in the States, but they're very specific type of thing. Why are you a speakers guy? Are you a speaker guy?
Speakers behind me.
I didn't know you were a speaker guy.
I'm like Bose, the audio. It's like not high quality at all, but I really enjoy like decent sounding audio that's decently cheap as well. I got these Mackie speakers back here. Have you heard of Mackie?
Yeah, Mackie's good. Well, they Mackie Thump.
I got a couple of them. The Mackie Thump 15s. I got them in there. They're like super overkill for in this garage. But when my affiliate went under, I got the Bulldog. You know what a Bulldog? It's like a floor cleaner, like those Zamboni looking things. So in my little 900 square foot garage, I got the floor cleaner and these giant speakers because I bought them from my ex-business partner when the affiliate went down.
Oh, well, yeah.
But I'm like, I wonder what kind of speakers he's got, because I've looked into them. Affiliate. I'm a fan of them. They're cool.
So I bought, if I were that Mackie are like cheap, cheerful, do the job. If you were gonna, who's this? Just
JC, you don't got any speaker input over there?
Yeah, you not got.
No, because I don't listen to any music, so the speakers don't matter that much for me. What I do use a lot are, I think now they're just called shocks, but they used to be called aftershocks, and they're the bone conducting headphones. Because I work outside, and so I can listen to like podcasts and stuff all day, and if someone speaks to me, I can hear them, or if there's a car coming behind me or something, I can hear them. So that's my.
I think I know what you do.
Yeah, nobody knows what I do.
You're not saying
he's richer than Batman though.
I mean, that's good. No,
I just run a very small little business with my wife. That's all. Because we. I mean, as I've said on this many times, I lived in Italy for 10 years and I worked in hotels and I taught English, and then I moved back to England, and there wasn't the need to teach English as a second language as much where I was. And this guy is CCP is convinced I'm a hitman, or I've got some dark secret. I thought I won him over. He was happy with the Dragon Ball Z stuff he could see earlier, but now he's gone back to being convinced.
Hey Sam, do you see this comment from Vindicate? Because I actually had this come up in a conversation last night about DJs.
Where are we? Here we go. Sorry, I'm so out of the game. I was on private chat. Why not? Do DJs at festivals actually do? Some don't. Some don't.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I've only played one. I've only ever played one recorded gig before, and there was a good reason for that.
Why?
It's because I was actually shaking. Because I was playing to 84,000 people, and was literally shaking.
You do drugs when you do events.
Nah, man, I'll be doing that. I'm natty. What are you talking about?
Me too.
Yeah, and the rest of the CrossFit community.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, man. No, yeah, Vindicate. To DJs, some pretend. David Guetta has been caught pretending before.
Who?
David Guetta. Have you heard of him?
Yeah,
He's like a house DJ. Plays a lot in Miami.
Pretending?
He got caught one time.
I heard a lot of them do that.
Yeah, some do. You'll find there are people you'll definitely know that don't do that.
I've also heard it's not necessarily frowned upon because it's like they did make it, they did create it, they mixed it, and like in all reality, it's not live music. It's not like Britney Spears up there singing while she's lip syncing anyway. It's like, yeah,
I frown upon it.
Okay.
I'm not even so. On the decks as well, there's a sync button. So like when you play music, you can press the sync button, and then you don't even have to do anything else. You just press play on the next track, and it goes whoop, and then they all like mix in together. I'm not a fan of that.
Cheaters,
because the robots are taking your job.
That is cheaters. I would be maybe there's a gap in the market there. Like you call out no reps, I'm going to call out DJ cheaters. Oh my gosh, that's a market there.
That would be.
I'm too nice. I think I'm too nice though. I couldn't take the shit that the rubbish that you take. Shouldn't swear.
Just don't pay any attention to it. Either they're right or they're wrong. It's the secret to looking through stuff on the internet. It's like, oh, you're right. And then you tell them they're right or they're wrong. And it's like, you don't even know. Never mind. Next comment.
Fair. Oh, yes. There you go. That's the secret to life, ladies and gents.
If it's right and it hurts, you're like, oh, shit. Now I got to figure this one out.
So something I wanted to ask you, Andrew, is do you think, talking of like, because obviously you know a lot of people follow you, a lot of people love what you do, and I think a lot of people misunderstand you in general, and I think when we think about people misunderstanding you, we think kind of, oh, they just think you hate CrossFit, maybe, you know, like the video you were saying about today, that, you know, someone will be that and it's like, what, CrossFit got wrong? Oh, he hates CrossFit.
Comments are fantastic so far, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I also think sometimes people. So it's just you know, the comment we made earlier when about like when Subsidy's natty and you're like, oh yeah, me too. And I was just thinking about when like Dave posted that thing and you know about you being out of the open, like the number of comments where people were like, oh, you should keep him in the open. Like that's not fair. He's brought so many people in for the open. Oh, he's done so much. And I was thinking, either I've misunderstood Andrew Hiller or you have, because I can't believe he would want CrossFit to keep someone in the open knowing that they've admitted to taking to taking supplements. They're on whey protein and they're to taking PEDs. And like the idea of, well, he brought so many people into the open, like how is that any better than if it was an athlete that's got a high profile being kept in because, well, they've got a high profile. So I don't know. Do you think that? And I guess then it kind of leads on to. So I made a video ages ago about you.
Yeah. Okay.
Which will not have kept you up at night the same way when you dropped a video at midnight about Brian that was on the podcast. And now I was like, that's a 50-minute video. That's a 1 a.m.
You watched it that late?
Yeah, Andrew. So I don't know if you know this, but when you put a video out on somebody, they have to know what you're going to say. I was actually like obviously in bed, getting ready.
I've heard that Brian won't watch your video unless he has 3 people tell him first that he should watch it. So I wonder how quickly that may have happened.
Oh, I don't know.
So maybe he hasn't seen it yet.
Maybe not. But I actually had a text from the other former host of this show, Tom, saying, I guess Hiller saw your podcast. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? Open up YouTube. Here's a video. Oh, how long is it? 50 minutes? Oh, no. And I know the video wasn't even about me, but I don't know. I can't remember what I said on the show. So I don't know. Maybe I said something stupid and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to watch it. And then people go, no, but he just said nice things about you. He said nice things about you. I'm like, yeah, okay, but you know.
But Hiller's nice things are like not everyone's nice things though, right?
I think he just said, I like Jason or I love Jason or something like that. So I was like, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. That's about it. That was fine.
I consume all of Jason's stuff. I've always appreciated it. And actually, one of the best things you ever said about Brian was in relation to the Zelos games. I don't remember if you don't remember that video you made. I remember I was sitting there watching that, and I'm like, damn, he's got a good point. Like, Brian's murdering the Zelos games. And then, I don't know, when Brian was doing stuff at Wadapalooza, and I was like, hey, dude, don't you remember how you broadcast the Zelos games? It's like, why are you doing golf commentary now? It's like, what gives? So you're completely different. And like, I remember how good you were and with stuff like what you said about him, too. Like, people pick up on this. But I watch all your stuff, yeah. I got nothing bad to say. No. But then when I was watching that Coffee Pods and Wads thing, I'm like, bad for CrossFit. Jason.
I didn't say bad for CrossFit. I go back and watch it.
Well, it was just in context with the other two. I think it was like good, bad, and then I was like, I don't really know what Jason means. I have to ask. I'm glad I asked.
Well, I guess my point is that if you're so like it would be bad for you. You know, you're saying like someone needs to send. I don't want to say it about Brian, but like you're saying somebody needs to send Brian free messages about a video before he watches it, right?
Right.
So it would be like it wouldn't be good for you if so let's say I can send people to watch your videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, right? But it's not good if before they will watch their videos, they have to come and ask me, should I watch Hiller's video? Because now I have the power to say, like, yeah, this is a good video, watch it, or no, don't go and watch that one because I don't like that one. So my point is, it's never going to be. It shouldn't be good for. It's not good for CrossFit that they need, like, that people need validation externally, or like you're doing, like the video we've just talked about, the one you've dropped. That is good. I think people that see CrossFit should, people that do CrossFit should see that video. Particularly the points about sleep, particularly the points about the gear that we mentioned, like, you know, going out and buying all this stuff, and I mean, even like I mean. We've said this back on the day when we used to do this podcast years ago, and we're talking about like the unnecessary amount of gear people go and buy. You know, I've got to have the wraps, the sleeves, of this and that. And I'm like, yeah. And then if you're out in the middle of nowhere, what are you going to do? Because you don't have your lifters, you don't have your belt. You know, you can't use your fitness. The point you made about the grips was really interesting.
You ever hear that before?
No, not really. But I mean,
I already have. No. That's a real thing. I bet if I like dug around a little bit, I could find the study that was talking about. There's this muscle that only is being kicked on when you use your thumb that basically shuts off a protective mechanism in your shoulder girdle while doing stuff like a slap tear waiting to happen, doing a hip and pull up.
Yeah,
but it's a real thing. I mean, I have to find it.
So like, I think that's really good. So all the points you made in the video, really good. The problem is that you're making those points, not CrossFit. So it's good for CrossFit that people see that video because it will help them. But it's not really good for CrossFit that it's you telling them and not CrossFit themselves. So that
they don't got anyone telling anybody anything, which is the biggest mess.
Well, yeah, that is the issue. And that's where what I'm saying is like you'll do what's good for you. And very often that aligns. And it was very much a hypothetical because I think at that time it was around the time of the Open, like leading up to the Open, and you'd encouraged so many people to sign up for the Open. But my point is, well, if Hiller can encourage that many people to sign up for the Open, can't he also discourage that many people to sign up for the Open? And that's not good for CrossFit.
They're like, wait a minute, why are you shilling out for the Open? And I really haven't spoken on it yet. Maybe this is a good chance to do so. I was like, what the hell else are you going to do? It's like there's no other global competition like this where you can go do what everyone else is doing. And like, what do you want to? I compared it to you're on an island, and let's just say it's us three, and there's a chick, one chick, and I'm assuming we're all straight, right? It's like, well, guys, are two of us going to partner up, and someone else can be with the chick, or like, are we gonna like, what are we gonna do here? Like, we're gonna fight it out for the chick. It's like, I'll kill you, and then it's me and her. It's like, how is this gonna work? And if there's 8 billion people on the planet, we all want to sign up for the Open. It's like there's only one Open. It's like, well, it's not like there's another option.
I was so worried about where that was going right then.
Oh yeah,
I was walking into the ocean.
One chick, like, yeah, I'm out. Like,
nothing crazy.
Out.
No
one needs to die over a woman.
To like chicks, but like the Open is the only thing like it. Like if there's nothing else even remotely close anatomically, it's like, well, I gotta go for the chick.
That is true though. I didn't compete in the Open today. I'm too juiced up. I would have probably got kicked out straight out. Yeah, man. I can't do it.
How long for? Oh,
No,
damn, dude. Can't mess with me like that.
sorry, I can't play with your emotions like that, can I? It's just not fair.
Well, sure you can. I like it. I was excited.
Thanks, baby.
I did do the open. You can tell I'm not juiced if you just look at my scores.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been to the gym since I haven't been to the gym since July last year. I just fell out of love with it a little bit. I'm really fortunate that my gym is not like one of the gyms that you described today. Hello, that it's really still like that sort of spit and sawdust, like great environment that you can have. So it's great when people actually go there, because the guy who owns the gym is not like, yeah, buy all this equipment and buy all this staff and buy all, do all these things and then you can come. Like it's maybe a few intro sessions just so that you can learn the basics of volley lifting, and I mean that's really about it. So that you're not slowing the class down too much when you're trying to sort of because there's one coach for 12-ish people, 15-ish people. So you don't want to be spending too much time on one person while everyone else is not doing their thing. But yeah, it wasn't like, yeah, buy a belt and buy this and buy that. Actually, the majority of the time it's the media that are doing that to you, and the people. You've made enough videos about all the stuff that people push you into. Mush, I think, being the latest one.
Oh yeah.
Well, is it Mush?
The unfortunate thing is I like that stuff. But I still poke at it. It is as mush. The $6.99 Costco driven oatmeal containers.
This is not made from a bath mat. I can assure you. Don't worry, Corey. Thank you.
Very comfortable.
It is very comfortable. Yeah, they call me the big cuddly bear. That's why.
Hey, dude. The thing about so, what's the name of your gym, Sam, that you go to?
Bearwald and CrossFit. I haven't been there a while, but
when you go in there, it's not like a super decked out, crazy looking facility, or
no, not particularly.
So like the first place I started off with, it was just like a pull up rig made out of pipes. Like the dude welded them together.
No, it is a pull up rig, but it's the one they first got when they opened the gym.
Like a Rogan Kennedy rig or like a Sorinex rig.
No, it's something like that. It's not like it's just a rig. Like it's not. It's one of those ones with like monkey bars that goes up the middle and then like across the top. Yeah, it's like it's not like a. Can I do monkey? Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
I'm actually not shitting you either. I'm a big guy, but I can hold my own.
I was listening to someone talk the other day, and it's one of the reasons they're like, now I know I'm getting old, because they went to swing on one arm and they immediately let go. And I don't think this person was a CrossFitter. It might have been. It was a comedian. Alexis likes comedy, and she wanted to go to some comedy show. And there was this dude who was like, I was at the park, and I'm just gonna start swinging. He completely fell on his butt. And the dude was no older than any of us, and like should have been doing CrossFit. And you can do the monkey bars, and he couldn't. It's like because you got access to that rig and you're affiliate, and that's cool. It's stuff like that goes a long way for people like him who have no freaking clue. And it drives me nuts that this comedian has no clue. He was like he's probably 30 years old. He was funny, but he was not athletic. No grip strength. Probably wore grips all the time.
Yeah, you're like, you can be, and there's the whole argument. I'm not even going to go there. The argument of weight moves weight, and the whole I'm not even going to.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, mass.
Are you going to argue that it does not? I think it does.
I think it does too.
What's your best?
If you tried to push someone over, and I tried to push someone over, they'd probably not like it very much when I did it, because I probably what do I weigh today? 20. I mean stones and pounds.
How tall are you? Oh shoot, centimeters. I don't know.
6 foot.
Yeah, so you look tall just even sitting there.
19. I'm just really close to the camera.
That's right. All I need to do. Hold on.
Yeah.
Do I look tall now?
19 stone 13.
While Sam's looking that up, it's funny.
What do you want, kilos or pounds?
Oh, here we go.
Pounds, okay.
But then I would like it in kilos.
279 pounds.
So, dude, like
126.5 kilos. But I have lost 4 stone in the last little while, which is, what is that in kilos, Jace? Come on.
I only weigh myself in kilos. I don't know in stone.
If you just want to do that relative, it'd be like what? The 60 pounds.
25 kilos, which is
25.
about 50 pounds.
Oh, I was close. I said 60, yeah?
Yeah, 56
Right.
pounds I've lost in about, well, I lost a stone of it like last week.
Cool.
Well, let's round up to 60.
Did you do that through High Rocks or what? You said you do High Rock stuff now, yeah?
I've done High Rocks once. Normally I DJ at sporting events or MC, so like on the mic.
How'd you lose the 60, the 50? The
through nutrition, actually, rather than through exercise.
What are you following?
I was doing this thing called Slimming World, which is arguably not that healthy, but it worked for a while. And now,
what's like the gist of it?
It's basically like masking a calorie deficit.
Perfect.
if you eat these things, yeah, for sure. So it's they have like every food has like a sin value, which is not sin as in do things wrong. It's sin as in like synergy. It's
okay. I'm
opinion, not amazing. But I'll be interested for you to do a video. James Smith talks about it quite a lot.
I know him. I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, he mugs it off a lot. So you'd like his opinion on it. But it worked for a while for me. I've just recently switched to like a 1-to-1 plan diet where I've like a person who, well, basically I'm eating 800 calories a day.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah.
The long and short of it is I'm eating a huge calorie deficit.
Yeah.
You did say that.
Yeah. But it's
that's always the answer though, isn't it? Like,
for sure.
All of these different things is just, how can we basically get you into calorie deficit?
Yeah.
I think that it's usually calorie deficit, and then for a lot of people, it's just like what's inflammatory to you. Yeah. So if you're lactose intolerant, you drink milk. It's like you're fighting an uphill battle if you're drinking milk or eating nuts and you're allergic to nuts. It's like there's like your body just is not. It's like you're drinking sponges. It's like everything is now trying. It's like, how do I get through this sponge in order to come out your butt? I made that up right there. Right?
I appreciate it.
Your body's all inflamed, and you got to get rid of the sponge, and then you drink your water and have your steak and have your chicken, have your sweet potatoes, and it's like going through you nice and easy. But then you have some nuts, and you're allergic, and you're clogging the system up with sponges. It's like try flushing the sponge out of the toilet. Good luck.
And people can't get over the 800 calories.
The first
no
4 days.
No wonder we've not seen you at a CrossFit box in a while.
I'm currently on day 8 of eating 800 calories, and the first 4 days I felt hungover. Like I haven't drunk for must be 2 years now.
Good.
And I was doing it before Hiller said it was cool, so it must be cool, right?
We didn't plan any of this before we jumped on your video. I just started recording today. This is cool.
Yeah. How is he surviving? I mean, Gus, look at me. I don't know if you could put that up. Like I'm 100 and what did I just say I was in pounds? 279 pounds. Yeah. Like eating 800 calories a day for a few weeks is not going to kill me.
Speaking of the mass thing, we bounced off that pretty quick. Like,
I just don't want to. I don't want to shell a whole bunch of hate on people unnecessarily. Like,
whoa.
They bring it upon themselves anyway.
Go on, throw and hate.
Yeah, go on. No, I'm happy. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to. Let's go. Let's go.
Who brings up hate first is the hater.
Let's go.
All right. Force times mass equals acceleration. It's a Isaac Newton law of physics, right? You're bigger than me, and I'm smaller than you. And all it is like I have to run a certain speed into that tree out there in order to like put a certain amount of force into it. You're bigger. You don't got to run as fast into that tree.
Exactly.
You got more mass. I need to apply more acceleration to equal the force into the tree. And it's pretty simple if you think about it. Like if American football, they've got the offensive and defensive lines. They bulk those guys up because there's like a curve that you can't really garner the acceleration, so you have to gain the mass. And
if I was running, if
argue it, I just lose my mind. Like, what are you talking about?
It annoys me on so many levels because people, and I'm going to get on a high horse about this now. Yeah. What really cheeses me off is that people like it's acceptable to be fat. It's not acceptable to be fat. It isn't and you can clip this. I don't even care if it goes viral right now, because actually it's not acceptable. People should not be the size. People should not be my size, right? I'm 200, and unless there's a specific reason that they need to be that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Your average human being doesn't need to be that size. Do you know what I mean? It's not. And everyone's like, oh yeah, but I must be happy who I am. It's like, that's cool. You go be happy who you are. Great for you. But I'm not gonna participate in saying it's okay for you to be fat. I've been trying my whole life to not be fat, and it's really hard.
Why are you bigger?
Because I have disordered eating, essentially.
What got you there?
Probably like university.
Oh,
but so when but I've always been big, like bigger than your average kid. So like when I was at school, I was always in rugby, the front row, or like American football, like the defensive guard or something. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I'd be a front lineman basically on defense. So I've always been the bigger guy, but I just love food, man. I was saying that to my wife, like eating 800 calories. I don't really crave much at the moment, apart from like a really hearty meal.
Just go hard, dude. Jeff Burfield's messing me up in the comments. He's like, "Don't go physics. I'll come at you." And it's funny because I think about 20 minutes ago, he goes, "I'm just making sure Hiller doesn't say anything dumb," and now he's going all physics on me. It's funny. It's good.
He can
force divided by mass equals acceleration.
Yeah, it's
you
tricky.
Kids,
do I what? Sorry,
you have kids?
Yeah, I have two. That was another part of my why. That's why I started. Yeah, I watched your video today where the thing where the pram goes down the hill, and I don't want to be the dad who falls over and can't chase after his kids. I don't want my. There are two sides of that coin, right? There's a side of the coin where I don't want my children to be so obsessed with what they eat that that they have some sort of disordered eating, right? I don't want them to be that obsessed, but equally, I don't want them to eat to excess. So it's not like
it's like the fat bastard from Austin Powers. You seen that movie?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's because I eat
in my belly.
Get in my belly.
Yeah, but for me, it would be really easy to slide straight there because I have that tendency already. It's like, I'm not trying. I'm not making any excuses. I'm trying to, I'm doing my best, man. I lost a stone last week, or what is that? 2 pounds, 6 pounds. That's like 6 kilos or something.
Hell yeah.
So I'm losing about a kilo a day at the moment.
Damn.
It's so funny because I was speaking to someone the other day and they were talking about that when they'd lost like 15 kilos. And I'm like, if I lost 15 kilos, I'd disappear.
What do you weigh, Jason?
Me, I weighed myself today. Sam, get ready for conversion, please. 67. Well, yeah, almost 68 kilos.
So that's
150 pounds. 150 pounds.
Yeah. So I was very happy with my front. We had Sorry?
You'd be gone. You'd be gone.
Yeah, I'd be gone.
That's 10% of your body weight. Like,
yeah.
Hey, I wanted to make a video at one point trying to see how much weight I could lose in a day. I used to lose a bunch of weight for wrestling. I think I could probably go like 25 pounds in a day.
Yeah. I mean, I
was just a spit though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
So I really have to kind of fight to keep weight on. And so when I was ill in January, I lost weight. And as I said, I didn't have weight to lose. And people saw me and said, "Oh, you look like when people say to you, 'Oh, you look like you've lost a bit of weight,' and it's like saying that to me, it's not good because I really don't have weight to lose." And we did a retest of there's the CrossFit Bath sort of total, and it's a front squat. It's like you've got 12 minutes, I think 12 minutes to build up a max front squat, sumo deadlift, and then like in the next 12 minutes, and then the final 5 minutes is max push-ups as an AMRAP. And we did that in December, And then I had all this period where I hadn't like been training as well. So I came in today really just thinking if I can, if I can get even close to what I hit in December. And I managed to get just over all my numbers in December and almost PB my front squat. So I was.
Did you murder the push-ups or what?
No, that actually the push-ups were by far the hardest part. So I like deadlifting, and I think because I'm short, so it doesn't have to go up very high. So that's quite convenient.
There's a lot of questions in the comments. How tall are you? What are you, like 5'1"? You're like 5'6" and a quarter or something, aren't you?
I'm 5'6", yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
so when you score that, is it front squat weight plus deadlift weight plus number of push-ups? Or
yeah, each push-up counts as a kilo. So
that's cool.
So that's the total.
And did you guys go to the same gym? Is that what I heard? Oh, okay.
No. I'm a CrossFit Bath. So
what did you say, Sam, again? I thought it started with a B.
Bear Walden CrossFit. Okay.
I have this thing about me where I really remember the first letter of things. And you guys are from over the ocean. So I'm like, oh, are they from the same gym over there? Starts with a B.
Yeah, the one CrossFit gym in the UK.
Yeah, it begins with a B.
Yeah, like Berlin, it's not even a place. It's fake.
Yeah. So no, it was good. That was a good start to the day, actually, to be honest, going down and doing that.
I feel terrible though about you guys doing push-ups and it only gaining you 1 kilo.
Why?
Bear in mind, I weigh 128 of the damn things. It's quite different. Like, or that doesn't feel very fair.
You ever put your hands on a scale and see how much you weigh while doing push-ups? Because you guys
is that a thing? That can't be a thing.
I made it up and I did it in high school. I remember like when I was in high school, you're 17, 18 years old, everyone's all obsessed about the bench press, right? And my goal was to bench 300 pounds as like someone who's under 150 pounds. I did it. And then I go, you know what? I wonder what it's like to rep out body weight push-ups. And I don't think it's correct, but you put your hands on a scale and it was like 105 pounds because like your legs are on the floor and all that. So I'm like, how many reps can I do with 105 pounds on the bench press? So I did it and they were pretty freaking similar, if I recall.
Wow.
It was like 75 reps of the push-up and the bench press.
This is an
don't quote me on that, but it was like that. Yeah.
I'm all about the science experiments.
So Sam, try it out. Like, put your hands on there and say, hey, this is a bullshit measurement, a kilo per push-up.
I'm doing that in the morning. I'm done. Yeah. That's done. I weigh myself every day now.
I think the kilo per push-up is just, I guess it's just to
track.
Yeah, to track it in a way that I suppose you can't just smash out a really heavy deadlift and then like it doesn't matter what you do on the push-ups because you're so far ahead. Kind of, I think it's just but it was, I mean, for me, it was the lowest score out of the 3 movements. So for me,
it's got to be, right? Yeah, you're not gonna do 200 push-ups. Did you deadlift 200 kilos?
No, I deadlifted 170. I think 172.5, something like that. Yeah,
that's good.
All right. Yeah, which again coming in at 68 kilos is. Sam, come on, calculator. Let's do it again.
What we doing?
Doing it in stone.
172.
Like 32 stone.
172 kilos in
stone. Pounds. 300 in pounds. 379 pounds.
What is it in stone? I'm going to 32.
Stone.
That's probably more like 36.
27 stone.
Damn.
So that's like Jason deadlifting me and a microwave.
A big microwave, right?
Big ass microwave.
Yes, 4-stone microwave. That'd be like Jason deadlifting me and my son.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I could do that.
At the same time.
Make sure you both hold still. Sorry?
It's good deadlift.
Yeah. So sometimes I think like I look at like the powerlifting totals and I'm like, oh man, that would be good. I like my deadlift and my squat are pretty good, but my bench is shocking. It's so bad.
Shockingly good. Oh, shockingly bad.
No, shockingly bad. Shockingly bad.
How bad is shockingly bad?
To the point that I couldn't even tell you. I mean, firstly, because I very, very rarely do it, because I just do classes, really. That's pretty much all I do. And so it rarely gets programmed. It more often gets programmed as a floor press, just because of quantity of people and space and limits of benches and stuff. But then, yeah, because I remember once, like 1 week coming in, we were doing back squats, and then the next week I came in and we were doing a floor press, and I went up to a new guy and I was like, hey, do you want to partner up with me for the floor press? And he's like, no, I saw you last week doing the squats. You're going to be lifting way more weight than me. And I'm like, do not worry at all about this.
You hold that thought. You're wrong, but thank you.
Yeah. So no, it's just convenient for me. I mean, like a deadlift is already really good for me, and then if they make it a sumo deadlift, it's like, well, at this point the bar is almost in the finished position before I've even pulled it off the ground. So it's got very, I remember a few weeks ago we were doing like just kind of warming up with the bar, and they're doing kind of like from standing to knees, then to the floor, kind of going through the positions. And when they're like knees to standing, I'm like, it's hardly moved. It's
got long arms too.
Sam, you've seen me in person. Have I got long arms? I don't think so. Not really.
Yeah, he's pretty ape-like.
That's what I was gonna say. Is he like an ape?
Yeah,
arms out there huge. They're super long. It's the best and the worst thing about CrossFit is the non-bench press component of it, because I totally understand it. It's like really not great for you, but all these CrossFitters have these bird chests, and it just grew up with Schwarzenegger and Stallone and all those guys, and then you got like these Chris Bumstead bodybuilders with their giant tits, and you're just like, I understand why CrossFit isn't big on bench, because it's not the best for your shoulders.
Yeah.
However, everyone looks like a baby.
It's not the best for your life, really. If I might even share the video later.
Yeah, what do you mean? By
well,
that?
I was very, very nearly. If I'd have had collars, I'd have probably been dead.
Right, you done that?
Yeah, I have done that, and unfortunately, I didn't. I left it. Yeah, I left the collars off. I was benching. It was like 120 kilos, which is what is that?
264.
Yeah, 264.
I know that one. Yeah.
So I was doing that, and then I went to re-rack it and missed, and it just went, poof, and it's like on my neck. I'm like,
that probably hurt like a.
Well, at that point I was in a Globo gym, so it wasn't like there was just no one around. It was late night, nobody about.
Off your throat. You ever see that happen to people?
No, fortunately it landed like here, and then like slip came up. I was like, but yeah, and then so I was like there, like, and the guy come over and he was like, "Can I help? Can I help?" I was like, "No, it's fine." Rolled to one side, like all the weight fell off, and it went, whooping. But yeah, that's why kids don't bench press. Or no, actually, don't bench press with collars on.
No, you tell me.
Without a spotter.
Inside grip, or did you wrap your thumb? Did it matter?
No, I wrap my thumb. I would always wrap my thumb.
Okay.
I'm not daft.
Always have a spotter when it's heavy, unless that wasn't heavy for you. 264 is pretty heavy.
That's pretty heavy. It's somewhere near the top. I was only doing a few reps at a time. But yeah, well, it didn't feel like I was going to miss it, because it was fine, and then I just missed the rack, like re-racking. So
you should have a mate.
I just don't have any friends, mate. I'm too fat.
Then you should only be doing stuff that you can do for more than 8. If you do 264 for 8, I'm good. Or you're just ready for the worst case scenario.
I mean, I'm
happy to go. There are worse ways to go out, right?
Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah, go out working out, bench press. That's pretty good weight on the bar. You ever hear that thing where it's like, hey, if I die in the gym and it's under a barbell, just throw on some 45s and then call the cops. That was like it was one of those old jokes.
Well, so I'm like one of the few people that probably doesn't bench at the box, but they all do it in open gym. Like everybody, now and again, I look over, I see the people that have all gone into open gym. In fact, like feeling pretty good about my deadlift, apart from the fact that last week I saw one of the members posting up their bench press that was my deadlift. So I was just like, well, there we go.
I thought you were going to say, I just looked right and there was a guy benching my deadlift. That would have sucked.
Well, pretty much. Yeah, I know, Barkley. I know. But that's the beauty. This is a day off for me, so this is nice. Just wind these two up and let them go. Anyway, Buckley, you'll be on soon, and then I will.
Jeffrey has a toaster from 1922.
That's why it's 4 stone. It's one of those 4-stone toasters.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
You just throw the thing in a fire, right?
Right. Have you seen the guy Goob on Instagram who does that thing called the Wuhan bench? So you just have a bench, right? There's like this one. There's a bench right here, and you get a bar. Like Jason, you could be deadlifting, and then you pick the thing up like a deadlift. You put it on your lap, and then you just roll back, and you can start bench pressing it. He calls it the Wuhan bench press because when people didn't have racks during the pandemic, like how do you get the bar to your chest? Well, you pick it up and then you roll back, and basically do what Sam did, minus the part where you decapitate yourself. And you just start benching, and he can do it with like 315. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, time and again, I tell myself, I need to start doing some open gym and just working on some of these weaknesses, and then I'm like, well, I like doing the classes. I enjoy doing that. And I mean, when we were talking earlier, and you sort of reached out when I disappeared for a little bit. But I was still going to the classes, and I was still like going to the box almost every day and really enjoying CrossFit. And it's because most of the people there don't know anything else beyond like the 4 walls of the affiliate. So they don't see there's some people that know everything about CrossFit, but the majority is, it's a relatively big box. So the majority are like, I'm just here for this, and I enjoy doing this. And their idea of like a really good athlete are the really good athletes at the box, the kind of local heroes. That's sort of the people they aspire to be like. And that was good and enjoyable, and there was kind of nothing negative about it.
Whoa,
and then you start looking into like, what's going on in the bigger world of CrossFit, and then you're like, oh, that's annoying, or that's sad, yeah. So that I kind of don't want to give up the classes, but I do. Sorry,
I wouldn't.
No,
hell no.
But
that's
I do
CrossFit,
think,
man.
I do, yeah. But I do think maybe now and again I'm like, I should maybe have, maybe just one evening that because I train a lot like at 8 p.m. and sometimes it is a battle just to get in because it's late after a full day. So maybe one of those days could be a good day to be like, what, I'll do open gym and I'll do some bench press.
You've seen all this stuff about loneliness, right? Like the CrossFit cures loneliness stuff. It's like a thing that I will never let go. Every time they post about it, I'm gonna like throw some crap at them for it. And like what you just said is super true. Like you can't let it go because you enjoy like the local heroes, and it's great to be in there. But is that why you started?
No, I mean, I started to encourage my wife to. No, I started because my wife didn't want to start on her own. That's why I started.
And we haven't spoken on this, but I think you might be one of the people who would comprehend what I'm going for there. It's like you come for the fitness, and then you stay for the local heroes, the community, and how great it is. But I don't think there's anything healthy about like, I'm going to go buy myself some friends. That's what I hear when you say you're signing up for a community.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to go buy myself some buddies. And it's like, God, that sounds so bad.
Yeah. I think it's good.
$400 a month and you have 150 friends. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I love it when you trigger me like this so bad.
But
good.
Wait, Sam, before you get triggered.
So good.
I do think, and I like that meme for Time Started because he saw Rich Froning's pecs. Because especially as we've been talking about how we don't bench press and it's hard to get pecs. I do think in a certain sense it's like if you move cities, for example, if you're like, I've been based here for years and now I have to move for work or whatever, knowing that like, if I go to the local affiliate, I'm probably gonna meet some cool people. That's great. Like that's good because you're not lonely because you're a lonely person. You're just kind of well. But at the same time, if it was me and I'm moving, I'm already looking for the affiliate.
You got because the fitness already. You're looking for a fitness gym, and you're like,
that's it.
Sorry?
Yeah, well, I'm saying that's it. Like, actually, it doesn't really matter because even if I went somewhere and it's like, well, this is the CrossFit box and it's very small and there's only 10 people, I'd be like, all right, fair enough. It's a CrossFit box. That's where I'm going. So it doesn't matter. I think you're right. I think if you go and then you find, friends there, great. Going there specifically for that is, not really the right motive to probably go in and stay in. And then, if there is drama in the box, it's like worse because, oh, well, that was the only reason I was going. With regards to like loneliness, I've got 2 kids. I wish I could be lonely. I'm not allowed to be lonely.
Well, dude, here's the thing. Like, if you're an alcoholic, you have 2 places to go, the bar or Alcoholics Anonymous. And both of those places will cure your loneliness too. And there's going to be a whole bunch of like-minded people who are trying to get you or make you feel your situation, right? And I just don't think it's like you drink alcohol so you got somewhere to go. You do fitness so you have somewhere to go. And I think that just one of these options is a healthier and like the best option for you. Clearly, it's CrossFit. It's just the message sucks. Like, you don't bring it up. Like, hey, how do you want to get buddies? Drink alcohol and then figure out which corridor you want to fall down.
Yeah. Well, like
neither of them.
I started doing CrossFit, as I said, because of my wife, but my wife started doing CrossFit, or, we started at the same time. In fact, on Monday, it will be our like 16th wedding anniversary, but also our anniversary of CrossFit, because we did CrossFit on our wedding anniversary one time. Obviously not 16 years ago, but like 8, maybe 8 or 9. But we went together because we'd already had our son. So she, like, when we lived in Italy, she was very active, like cycling everywhere and just not active in like, I'm going to be sporty, but active in just life kept her busy. And then when we got married and she wasn't working as much, so she sort of slowed down a bit. And then we had our son, and obviously that slowed her down even more. And then we moved to England. And then there was a point where she was just like, oh, I'm just not super happy with how I am now. And so I'd said, well, pick any kind of fitness thing you want to do. You have a look, look around the local area, find something you want to do, and whatever you want to do, I'll pay for it for a year. And that will be my anniversary gift. So she found, she looked into different things, and we found CrossFit Bath. We watched some of the documentaries and the old games stuff. And we were like, yeah, this is and that didn't intimidate us. And when you think of why we were going there, was not because she wanted to be an athlete, but it was just, I want to lose some weight and I want to feel healthy again. Mm-hmm. That encouraged her. She contacted the box, and they were like, come in for a little trial session. And she was like, I do not want to go on my own. So I came with her, and we did a little kind of like one-on-one trial session with Ollie Mansbridge. And then, sorry?
I know that name.
Yeah, he's now the European CrossFit
he's
manager.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah. Fraser has entered the chat. Like, who now?
Yeah. And then so she was going to sign up for like, they would do the intro. So they would do like 2 evenings a week were intro classes. And so you would go through the kind of on-ramp course thing and then join. And we were like, well, we can't both do that because obviously we've got this baby at home. So one of us has to be at home with a kid. And, oh, well, I guess. And the whole idea was that she was going to join, and I wasn't. I had no intention of joining. I was just there for moral support. And then I was like, well, actually, if you want, you can do it like a one-on-one session, but I'll let the 2 of you do it together. And then you can do it when he's at like the nursery and sort of do it that way. And man, he's a good salesman. And
and now he's taken all of your money for the last 9 years.
Yeah. And now
got you.
But I mean, it's
worth it though.
Like 15-year affiliate. But what's interesting there is I don't know why I was thinking about this story the other day. But I remember we were parked. No, so where we live, it's really tricky to park like in the center. And so we were kind of parked somewhere else. We'd gone into town to do some stuff, and we had our son with us, and he wanted to run back to the car. And we'd only been doing CrossFit like a few months. He wanted to run back to the car, and my wife ran with him, and she ran with him all the way to the car. And then she said to me when she was at the car, like, oh, I couldn't do that before.
Oh, no shit.
Like it was kind of I wouldn't have been able to just run with him all the like way through town. It's not far, but I don't know, probably like a 10-minute run, maybe something like that.
I mean, that's no joke most people probably couldn't do that. You're right. Yeah.
No.
That's crazy.
And
she thought about it. That's the crazy part.
And she was like, "Oh wow, the lights gone off." And yeah, so she, so that for us was like, that's when we were in. And then, I mean, she was down there this morning as well when we were doing this total thing. So we still train together once or twice a week. Our schedules are a bit different, so we don't always get down at the same time. But we train together, and since we turn up together, and then she teams up with some of the women that are doing sort of similar weights, or like today we're working in kind of little groups with the squat and stuff. I'll go over with some of the guys I know, and then but we're there together. We kind of it's good. She signed up for the Open. She did the Open.
She crushed
first time or multiple times?
I think it's either the second or third time she's done it.
Cool.
Yeah, she because she's
How'd
not
you like the workouts.
It's funny. She's very strong, but she doesn't realize that she is strong, or she kind of won't accept it, because in this time we also had another child during this kind of CrossFit journey that kind of pushed her back a lot as well. So it's been ups and downs.
She's got that pregnancy strength that they pick up.
Yeah,
it's like a steroid.
Yeah, well, I was like, use the 15
like
kilo
an actual steroid
dumbbell.
Yeah, there's something about the progesterone spike that it's like it works like a nandrolone, which is an injectable steroid that dudes will take that gives you boobs, and it's like all that stuff like makes the chick stronger during their pregnancy.
Woo!
He is going to dominate this year.
Rising Tide asks if she can outbench me. Probably. No.
Anyway, so she's strong.
Well, it's funny because I think she was at a friend's house and they were moving furniture. And she was like, "Oh, I'll move the sofa." And they're like, "Oh, do you need it?" And she's like, "No, I'll do it." She's moving the sofa, and
she's overhead lunging the sofa,
yeah. So, but yeah, she did like the first workout. She hates burpees though because she's strong, but she's not that kind of aerobically fit at the moment, and so she could move the 15 kilo dumbbell. She kind of didn't want to. That's the problem. I really have to kind of push her a bit because I know you can pick that dumbbell up, no problem, but she doesn't want to. Almost, it's like I'm like, but I know you can do it. But it's like, yeah, but it's heavy. I'm like, yeah, I know it's heavy, but you can that's the whole point.
She just doesn't want to make you look bad. She knows she's a savage, mate. She does know she's a savage.
Yeah.
You just have to. Sometimes when I've been around her, you just get that look. And I guess you know what that look is like. I'm gonna kill you.
You seen that, man?
I've had that look from your wife before.
From my wife, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've both been in the same place.
I understand that she'll look at you like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean she looks at me like that. At least I hope.
That's fair. That's fair.
The dark phoenix and her eyes go black. Is it that look?
It's kind of a little bit like that, but more scary.
Oh
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like that scary. If Dark Phoenix was a mum who also had that kind of but it's but like what I find funny is she's not like your kind of CrossFit, like what when you picture like kind of all these the women that are going and doing CrossFit and then they're like, oh, I love Tia and I love this and that. I don't picture my wife like that, but she is inspired by like Cara Saunders back in like when she was probably the first that was kind of like a big name to then like have a kid and come back. I know others had children or had children before they did CrossFit and stuff, but she was kind of one of the big ones to sort of go off and like I remember the Rogue Invitational, the one that was all online.
Yeah,
and she's like having to go and feed the baby kind of in the breaks between workouts and working out in the middle of the night because it was all at the same time, and obviously in Australia it was the middle of the night. So so I just always think that idea of like the games putting people off or kind of elite level athletes discouraging normal people from doing CrossFit is it's just not been the personal experience that I've seen for me and even for my wife, who both of us are not, we're going to go to the games people. We are kind of very aware of where we are on the fitness ladder. And it's not very high.
That's good to hear. I wonder if there's a way where could be more, I mean, not more, but at all beneficial, considering it doesn't seem to be, right? The game stuff, any of it. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Because, I mean, it's entertaining for us, but I kind of feel like
Us,
yeah,
but
and
not your wife. Your wife could give 3 craps.
Uh,
Mine, Cara, potentially.
no, she'll. I think my
Dad.
wife would watch it if it's on, like but she's not going out of her way to watch it.
Right. She doesn't block off the weekend of semifinals to sit
No.
there and watch an event every 4 hours.
No, definitely
For
not.
4 days straight.
No, I think for her, it's the sacrifices, all the things she lets me do. Like lets me go to places and see things and stuff. And I think it's tough. Like, you know, even when we've had local kind of like strength and depth, Origins is in Bath. It's not far from here. It's where Sam and I usually see each other. But even that, I was like, oh, if you want to come like this day, you could. But it's, you know, there's the kids, and you've got to kind of balance things, and for her, it's just not a priority in the list of, you know, in the grand scheme of things. And even for me, it's, you know, it's important because I like it and I like all of this stuff. But the reason that not that many videos come out recently are because on the grand scheme of priorities in life, you know, it's got its place. And there are certain other things that are just...
Everyone's got to have a pyramid.
Yeah.
Nutrition's
got to be in there. But
yeah.
Probably the base. I think the interesting thing about the games, and I've been thinking about this a lot after, I think it was you, maybe it was you, Hilo, that posted about the media playing a part, and I think it was about the Savant thing. Yeah, that was a couple of days ago, or whatever. But
morning.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. But I think it's the same as any, like, I'm the sort of person who would watch anything that is competitive. It could be anything competitive, and that would be fine. So what you get is the people that watch the CrossFit Games probably are people who either do CrossFit and are just absolute CrossFit whatevers. And then you've got these people who just love watching competitive stuff, and their pal's gone, hey, this new thing that I'm watching is called CrossFit. Do you want to come watch it because it's, you know, do you want to watch it on YouTube because it's competitive and you can see guys like throwing down against each other,
or chicks,
or chicks, or you know, or whatever. You can be, it'd be the same as
people with no arms.
Yeah, it would not quite be the same. No, but there are people with no arms in the games,
right?
I think you had one on last. No, she didn't go to the games actually. Annika, she wasn't at the games, was she? I don't think.
No, she might be at the games this year.
She might be at the games this year, yeah, for sure. She's speaking of savages, she's also a savage. Yeah, she but I think it's the same with anything though, right? If someone said to me, yeah, do you want to come and play for my football team? And I'm saying deliberately, I know there are a lot of Americans in here. I mean American football when I say football.
I don't. If I say football, just know it's not what I mean.
Because that's the true football.
Yeah, the one where you use your hands. That's the true football.
Yeah. But if someone said, hey, do you want to come and try? And like, and then you go, oh, I like this. And they're like, yeah, do you want to come and play for the whoever's? Or my goal is to play for the, you know, the Chiefs or the whatever. People are like, yeah, let's do it. And there will actually be a bunch of people. It's the gym. And I don't even like the word community. That's what triggers me. It's a club. It's not a community. It's just a club.
Ooh.
When
you hear CrossFit talk about loneliness, it's like, no. Club.
No, CrossFit is a club. CrossFit is a club. There, you know, and
hey, if it was pitched that way, the price point would seem different. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if it was
joining a club,
I think if it was pitched that way, the price would finally make sense.
Right. Yeah. I'm saying. Yeah.
But no, exactly. But like loneliness, it's no different to the stuff that they're doing with our gym. Do a life thing. They do for like elderly people. CrossFit Glasgow do Glasgow Silvers, or I think it's called Silvers, or Legends. Yeah. Basically, like older guys and girls who go to the gym, because they're lonely. That's no different to going to a coffee morning because you're lonely, or going to anything like that. Like CrossFit is not saving lonely people. I didn't. So I missed that. I didn't see the comment.
Football is hand egg. I like that.
Football is hand egg.
Football is football, like soccer, and then I'm reading it as American football is hand egg because the ball looks like an egg. That's how I read it.
It's like a poor man's rugby.
Yeah, it's like rugby, but they've got to put all that extra padding on.
Poor man's rugby.
Scared.
You mean a rich man's rugby?
Yeah.
Come on. All right. Rugby's like a poor man's American football.
The funny thing about football is what's up?
Yeah, Zachary joining us from Australia.
What
Appreciate
up?
that.
The cool thing about football is people hit each other way harder than in rugby.
That's because they got more pads.
Way harder.
Poor man's. It's the rich man's football.
Yeah. No, it is true. It's absolutely true. We've just had a couple of guys go out to from England. They're on the players' pathway or something to get out. In fact, Reece Zammit has just been signed by the Chiefs. Lewis Reece Zammit. He'll be a name for the season if you watch football.
Which I don't, but anyway.
That means it generates money. Does rugby not make any money? What's like the top paid rugby player making?
Like pennies compared to the top. No, compared to the top making footballers, not a lot.
See, I don't know enough about rugby, but it is something worth digging into because it's a comparison. So rugby is something that went from being quite kind of just played by amateurs, and you were playing rugby, but you were working in a factory in the day, and it was sort of like all the rules about which teams you could play for depending on where you kind of worked and lived and stuff like that. And then it became a sport like the sport it is now, and it's one of those that quite often when I've had conversations with people that are quite knowledgeable about the history of rugby, they see some of the parallels to kind of CrossFit and the way people want to professionalize the sport of CrossFit and sort of some of the same, dare I say, mistakes that get made, where they sort of say, "Oh, these are things that kind of you saw happening there."
There you go, offensive again with that "dare I say" statement. Dare I say?
Yeah,
I like it.
I got to be careful. I got an image to protect.
But aren't there?
But I think
surely the sports that got big before social media are like arguably the real sports.
Like baseball, basketball, football, hockey.
Exactly. Because they didn't. CrossFit could, and I'm sure they could pay gazillions of pounds or gazillions of dollars to get more eyes on the product.
That's what Reebok
to get more. To get more eyes on the games.
Yeah, Reebok.
What's that? Sorry.
Reebok. Yeah.
The problem.
Money. Greg did a live thing. It's still on YouTube. You can see it. It's like they gave us like $200 million, and we just like blasted it up. It's like all marketing. Just that's
the point. Whereas something like American football, they new teams pay loads of money to get eyes on them and sponsors and all that sort of stuff. But the game in its infancy didn't start that way. It just happened because everybody wanted to come watch it, not because someone told them they should go watch it, but it was just the thing that they did. You go to some states and like basketball is bigger than anything in that state, like or
college football.
Yeah, college football, ridiculous.
Like, dude, I don't understand it. I won't be able to wrap my head around that, but people die for college football.
Yeah, we cannot understand. Like I don't know. Speaking of,
I'm so happy.
But coming from over here, it's like I would say British people in general, apart from me, are really passionate about sport and their teams, and they will talk about their sports team like they were playing on the field with them that night, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But these are the big professional teams. I've never heard somebody talk about their university. Well, maybe the university teams a bit, but like their college. It just.
What's even better is people
how
who
big it is.
Go to the school. They're like, I love Notre Dame. Maybe you heard of the school Notre Dame?
Yep.
It's pretty big, right? And then they know every player that's been there since like the freaking turn of the century, and then they know the people who are in the line to be freshmen next year. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, why? I know who Tom Brady is and like Patrick Mahomes and those guys on the NFL rosters, but they've been there for 10 years and they're the best ever. And some freshman who's 18 years old who's going to be a redshirt freshman next year.
Yeah, but then we've got the
You guys
same
are
people
nuts.
within CrossFit, don't we? So they know who all the up and coming teens are, and they
And
know
I
who
think
they're-
about that, and I'm like, fuck, you're so right. You
Yeah.
each their own.
But it is like the CrossFit thing's funny because I had a friend of mine just visiting around the time of the games, and so they just they were ours one evening, and I was like, look, I'm really sorry because you're here, and I've not seen we used to live kind of almost next door to each other. Then they moved to Ireland. They were just visiting for a few days, and I'm like, I'm really sorry because you're here visiting us, and that's wonderful. I do have to put the CrossFit Games on, so we're just gonna have this on.
So
Don't worry
sorry.
about it. Like, I'm listening to what you're telling me, but I am also watching this, and they watched it with me, and like, and they're asking questions, and they enjoyed it. And then I think they sent me something because they'd seen something, and maybe something from like Filthy 150 or something. They'd seen something about that, and they sent me something when they were in Ireland, like, oh look, I saw this thing there, and like I think it can be enjoyable even for people that aren't deep in CrossFit. I mean, I usually watch it with my daughter likes watching it, my son likes watching it. They've done CrossFit Kids a little bit, but they're still not really. But it's entertaining to watch. The problem is because of particularly with the games. If the games is our kind of pinnacle, it's the biggest event, but it's like you've got to carve out days to watch it, and it's not even like, okay,
That's
I'm
right,
going to
yeah.
watch it and I sit down and watch it. It's like, oh, I watched one event, now what? Well, that event was really tough. Now they need a big break before we can make them do another really tough event. So it's like condensed in the sense that it's all at one weekend. Well, not even a weekend, more than a weekend. So how are you following it? You've got to take a day off work. And then actually when you're watching it, it's also spread out because of how the events run, which of course they can't just say, look, roll from one event to the next sort of thing. But that isn't, like if you're watching football, American football, rugby, whatever it is, you're going to have X number of games throughout a season. They're going to be spread out. And once you start watching the game, they're going to have, a halftime or quarters or however they've divided up that sport. But that's not that long. You're like, oh, good, got time to go and grab something to eat or something to drink or whatever. And then play resumes. Not, okay, I'll be back in like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, is
Right.
it? And then
we don't know. It's unknown and unknowable.
2.5 hours, unless it rains, and then we might have to move the field of play, and then that's another couple of hours. Or it's like, okay, let's make this good, yeah.
Yeah, it's not conducive to a sit-down TV audience. Yeah. So I just wonder if if only the media team have content all year and promote it during the games.
Right? There is golf.
Yeah.
And golf is a weekend event. It's like, hey, it was a Masters, right? Just finished up, and Tiger Woods completely crapped out. But you people sit down and watch that all weekend too. It is just a little bit further along, and it is more spectator friendly, I'd say. Here he is taking a shot. Now here's some other guy taking a shot. Now here's some other guy taking a shot.
Yeah. I think it's also hard. Also, there's always too many moving pieces within CrossFit to kind of you don't know why it was again, not you do know. This is the problem. I know. Maybe Sam knows. It depends how much he's dipping into CrossFit at the moment. But you'll see an event or you'll see someone do something, you'll be like, well, I know why for that athlete to do that was really impressive because last year that was a weakness or whatever it may be. And then also because I remember at semifinals, this was their performance. They only just scraped if they're now top 10 at the games when they almost didn't qualify through semifinals, you're like, oh, this is really impressive because actually they almost missed out on making it to the games, and now they've put up an incredible. There's all these bits that make it interesting for you, but you need to have all that information.
You ever seen those videos where it's just I watched one yesterday. It was the tallest monsters in all monster movies in the history of monsters. You ever seen that?
It just pan across and sort of get bigger and bigger.
There's a video on YouTube. It's got millions of views. And
it sounds like a video where you're falling down a hole in YouTube. Yeah.
You're like, oh,
I've seen them with
Godzilla. Oh, that's Godzilla from the 60s. The Godzilla from the 2019 is 3 times as tall, and they have him in heights, right? and then it goes all the way out to like Ego, the Living Planet, which was in what the hell movie? The Avengers movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or whatever. It's Seth Quill's dad, but they do the whole thing. And what you just said, Jason, is people are looking at it, it's like, is that even impressive? What they need is this, like, the gorilla can't even pick up this weight that Justin Medeiros just deadlifted. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh, that's a lot of weight. Gorillas are strong. How much stronger are gorillas than Justin Medeiros? Well, they
yeah, actually,
a long-winded answer for a pretty stupid payoff. But
no, it's funny you should say that because so you might have heard about Gladiators.
Yeah,
airing in the UK because there was some CrossFitters that were involved in that. But my son absolutely loved watching Gladiators. Like, he was watching it every weekend. And one of the weekends that he was watching it, I was at Strength and Depth, and there was Zach George was there and Emily Steele, so two of the Gladiators, and I was like, came home with a little video for him made with these Gladiators, and he's like,
oh wow.
So he loves it. But what's interesting is when they put up like their little kind of, you know, graphics, and they'll be talking about these guys, they do things like that. They'll be like, so can deadlift this amount of weight, which is the same as, and they'll be like, say, they kind of try to make it, and that's because that's a TV show. And actually, sometimes, you know, because we know athletes that are very impressive, I'm reading the little facts and I'm like, that's okay, but that's not that impressive, actually. I think, you know, I know people that can do more than that myself. Mm-hmm. But
well, that dude in your gym who you said could bench your deadlift, like, he probably has one of the best benches at the CrossFit Games. And you know somebody personally in your own gym who can do more than just about all of them.
Yeah. But he's an absolute monster. So that's
minus like Jake Douglas, maybe. He's a big guy.
Yeah. But yeah. But yeah, I think it is that, make it more. I mean, but the point is, the BBC have made this show, and they know people watching this are just not, they're not people that do fitness. Like, they're just not normal people.
Normal people.
I don't know. Is it normal people? Is that the right word?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If you're in the gym, you're probably in the 5%, like the top 5% of people in the world in terms of fitness, right? That, I think that was, I can't remember who said it. Was something like that. I can't. It's something like that. It's that. Don't quote that.
Yeah. Well,
too late.
Said it now. Yeah, it's live.
Yeah.
Clipped.
That's it. Brian Friend told me.
Okay. I'll make sure to put that in there. Brian told me.
This is good. We need someone who knows nothing about CrossFit sitting with all the announcers asking questions the entire time.
What do you think they've got right now?
Oh,
I'm literally sat here asking, chatting.
Yeah. I think. Well, you should go to the games then. But you know too much. You've done your L1. You know far too much about.
I have done my L1. It's currently out of date. It went out of date in September last year, or September this year. No, it was last year. Sad.
Yeah, you want to check? Okay. Well,
it's on the wall actually. Yeah.
It's on the wall there. Yeah.
No.
Oh, now you can go do your own. Oh, sorry, I'm getting lost on the comment. It's almost like people knew you were coming.
Amber has said this. Yearwood's semen retention didn't work in this chat at least twice, and he was saying in Pedro's chat earlier. Yeah, it didn't work. Gotta let those guys loose. The little tigers.
Yeah. Come on, baby tigers.
If you're doing fitness, you're happy normal.
I heard you're in the top 5%. I heard it somewhere recently. I think it was a Brian Friend quote.
Must have been not talking about my open performance, that's for sure. But it's true. But then I think as well, like I always catch myself falling into that trap where we just you talk to people that are, you know, even like speaking with you guys that are not people that are sort of close to me geographically, but I'm always speaking with people that are involved in the fitness world. And then I go to the gym and I see all the people there. And then even at home, we talk about it. And you just fall into this trap of thinking like, not like, everyone is, but it's just the norm. It's so normal. And then you go and speak with people that, you know, don't like. Also, a friend of ours was asking me some questions because, you know, she wants to get a bit fitter, and she's like, you know, you're all into that. So she starts asking you questions, and you're like, oh yeah, people believe this, don't they? People think these. These things, that's
I
true.
work with this guy, and I've worked with this guy for 6 years now, right? And about a year ago, been with him for a long time. I come to his house because I train him at his place at this point, and I built out his garage. And he opens his freezer, goes, check out what I got, and he's got these keto Reese's cups. And he goes, I picked these up at Costco. A buddy of mine recommended them. They're good because they're keto. And I go, dude, they're Reese's cups. And he goes, what do you mean? I go, look at the calories, look at it, and it's like there's fiber in it, which kind of zeroes out the sugar, so they can claim they're keto. But there's still 200 calories per cup, and it's actually more calories than a Reese's cup. And he's like, son of a bitch, and he throws the whole bag away. But yeah, you're right. Like, people still believe this stuff.
Yeah.
And this guy's been with me forever, and he's smart as hell.
Is he one of the guys paying you £500 when he when he goes out drinking?
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. That's the guy.
Is it that guy?
He stopped drinking.
Oh, let him have the cups. He needs it. He's not drinking anymore. Oh, poor guy.
Hey, he lost like 60 pounds. It was fantastic.
Yeah. It's and I mean, then you go into the whole discussion of how, like, if you go to the gym every day, you're kind of a fanatic and you're sort of mad because you do that. But people that, have a drink every day, it's kind of, oh, well, they're just unwinding after a long day of work. And you're like, well, hold on a second. Like, why is this normal and this is considered weird? And absolutely it should be sort of flipped on its head. Anyway, thanks, guys. I've enjoyed the chat.
That's it.
Well, you say that's it. It's 11:30.
I remember
here. So
Yeah.
And
Sam,
and,
my whoop's telling me to go to bed. So,
oh my god, you got a whoop on?
I actually have. I've only had it for a little while.
Okay.
It's not actually telling me to go to bed. But the reason I'm not obviously not sponsored by Whoop. Look at me, like I say.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah,
you will be
when
after
I've got
this.
all this skin hanging off me because I've lost so much weight. But the reason I was like holding off, it was one of the only things that I didn't go for in CrossFit because I thought I'm not going to be a Whoop wanker. But
Wankers
then
words.
Is it? Love that. That's not really an American word, is it?
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
All right, though. Keep going. Yeah. You don't want to be a whoop wanker.
No, because I thought it was going to be too prescriptive in my life. Like, you can't do this. You can't possibly do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. But actually, it's quite easy to use.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the idea that it would be so like, oh, you can't, like, you're trying to reach to get something and it's physically stopping.
Yeah, like, no,
how powerful they want it.
Yeah. But it's actually useful. It's like, look, you're probably about this much recovered today. So if you do about this much, you have about this much strain in your life, then it's probably going to be all right for you. Right. And then if you go to bed at this time, you'll probably wake up feeling all right. That's sort of how I see it, rather than it being this like, and I got it cheap. Because I was
there you go. That's
I was emceeing at Battle Cancer in the UK, and they have a partnership. So put those two things together, and they were doing discounts on the day. So not because I was anyone special, just they were doing a discount on the day.
Yeah. Well, I wear a Garmin, because one, it tells
things sweet.
Because well, firstly, it tells the time, which I find very useful, and the fact that Whoop doesn't
sure does
annoys me. But I got it. I got it because I went to the doctor after, like, I got COVID and then I recovered, but I still didn't feel like great, and it had been a little while, so I went, and when they were doing like some blood tests, and then the nurse put the kind of like heart rate monitor thing on my finger to relax, and as soon as she put it on, like, looked at it for a few seconds and then went, I'm just gonna go get the doctor. And I was like, that's not what I want to hear. And I was like, have you always had a really low heart rate? Like, well,
how low is
low? Let me pull it up now. The answer is yes. I have always had a.
You're just like a natural marathon runner.
So my resting heart rate is 43 beats per minute.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's low for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, like sleeping, when you're asleep, it's 43, right?
So right now,
it's not like sitting at 43 right now, is it?
No. It's about 70 at the moment.
All right.
but I would say I'm highly stressed.
You're at 70. I'm at 54, and I bet Sam can't tell us because he doesn't have a screen on his watch.
I'll just get my phone, open an app, and
I know I'm messing with you.
and then find out it doesn't tell me anyway. So fuck it.
Oh, it will. There's a button in there you can click that'll show you. There's like a live broadcast button. It's a pain in the butt. I've done a video or 10 on Whoop.
Probably charge you a fee to do it as well.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Hey, dude, I was the biggest Whoop advocate out there. I probably had at least 50 people buy one because of me, which is why I went nuclear on them. Once they came out with the 4.0 wrist strap, I was like, it's all holy war.
Yeah. See, the thing is, looping things all the way back to your, what we were speaking about at the very start, your video that came out today, and the stuff about like the gear and all the equipment. I'm like, I have a belt that I use very rarely. Like I use it when I am at those kind of top end. Yeah. So I used it today when I was doing that, like the last couple of deadlifts. And then I never wear lifters. I just wear whatever shoes I have, and I will use grips from time to time, but
depends on what you're doing.
It depends on what I'm doing, and also if I got to the gym and I opened my bag and I was like, they're not there. And sometimes they've not been there, and someone's lent me grips, and I've been like, these are horrible. I'll just go without. It's better, and I wear them more to stop my hands from sort of ripping apart than anything else. So I quite like that when you're like, and we've had new members join and be like, oh, what equipment do I need? And the only thing I'll always tell them to buy is a rope. Like the only thing you need to buy is your own rope. So don't go and use one of the ones that aren't fit to your size. Go and get your own one. Get used to using that one, and that will help you with your double unders. Everything else, don't worry.
We were at Greg's house for the second week of the Open, Glassman, and he has one of those RX jump rope like rigs where you can like pick what your color and size and all that. And I'm just like, I haven't used an RX jump rope in so long, and I actually borrowed his wife's RPM jump rope, and it was the biggest save because you're right. Like the only thing you need is your rope, and if you use any other rope, it's going to throw off your whole workout.
Yeah. Actually, that was my favorite part of the Open was the double unders.
The double unders?
Yeah.
Spoken like a 100-pound gentleman.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, it was because I was just doing every round of the double unders unbroken. And that was like, and after maybe 2 or 3 rounds, he was just like, oh, now that's the goal. Like, I know I'm not going to get some amazing score comparative to other people, but my goal is just do not trip on a single skip, and I'll be like happy by the end of this. And
I like that workout.
I hit that. I like that workout.
How was the deadlift weight for you?
Yeah, fine. Yeah,
fine.
That like
did you do them all unbroken? Break them up?
No, I think I broke. I think I did like one break in between on each one, just
like 5, 6, 4. Whatever.
Yeah, more just because. Well, that's why I like the double unders, because that sort of let me catch up with people. So that was so I kind of felt like I could afford to take that one break in the middle. But then I'm not very fast on the rower either. So I think it was my best workout of the 3. Definitely the one I liked the most. But yeah. And the worst one was the last one. Man, I hated that.
Thrusters.
Hate thrusters. Hate them.
Everyone hates the thrusters.
Don't know why. Everyone else seems to love them, but not me.
If there's one movement I would never do it again in CrossFit, it's the thruster.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, ever since I messed up my elbow, it was like my swan song in CrossFit competitively, along with making YouTube videos. That front right position on this arm is a son of a bitch. It's like I would do anything to not be there for periods of time. Like shoulder overhead, repping them out, it's just like sucks.
No, see, I'm all right with that. Actually, I was thinking about that earlier when you were asking Sam if he like grips the bar, and like I'm so automatic hook grip. I remember once doing front squats
on a pull-up bar.
No, like on a barbell.
Oh, on a barbell. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, when you just get into that habit of just like hook gripping, because you should when you're in the clean, you should in everything else. And I remember doing a front squat, and the coach walking past me like, "You don't need to hook grip. the barbell on the front squat. And I was
You're
like, sorry.
flexible.
Yeah. So it's just,
That's good.
if you can do it, then do it, I guess. I don't know.
I used to train my front rack like that. I would get under a decently heavy bar and I would hook rip it so that I would keep my entire knuckle like locked onto the bar. And I would just kind of sit there and stretch out. And
yeah,
it's good that you can do that. Don't lose that if you can keep it.
No, I can do that. And probably, like, as I said, if you make a video about me on a YouTube video about me, I'm going to be nervous. I'm always going to be nervous. But if you've got a video of my squat and you're making a video on that, I'm not concerned at all.
I'm the same. I'm the same in that one.
I go.
They're good or because they're bad, it's coming.
Oh no, my squat is like if
Lights
anything,
out.
I go too deep on a squat, like I unnecessarily so.
Yeah, my squat depth is good. I did a high rocks a couple of months ago, and which was stupid. I shouldn't have done it really. Nearly died. I just done 12 hours of DJing and then was like, oh, maybe I'll just, well, I asked, like, are there any spaces left? They were like, yeah, you could do it. I was like, I haven't even got any trainers. They're like, here's some trainers. So I did that. I got to the end and the wall balls, they were like, wow, this guy's amazing on the wall balls. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, man, it's called CrossFit. I don't know if you heard about that, but when you watch enough Hiller videos, then that's such an arse lick.
I thought you were going to go the other way and say, when you watch thousands of people running through your high rocks event not hitting depth, obviously the one person that does is going to stand out.
Yeah, it's difficult, right? Because it's a mass participation. I don't want to get into the whole high rocks thing now. It's like nearly midnight. But it's mass participation, and I'm not going to slate anyone for like having a go. Do you know what I mean? And I guess I know, and that's cool, and I'm happy to leave you to that.
Yeah.
But the difference between that and the Open is that the Open is on a worldwide leaderboard, and you've signed up to do the Open as part of that worldwide leaderboard, whereas a lot of the people have signed up to do high rocks because they want just a challenge in their life. So they've just trained to do this thing, and someone's, and at the end there's 100 wall balls at the end, right? So, or 70 for the ladies, and then, or some of the ladies. And I get that people shouldn't be letting them off because they're never going to improve. But if that person is like so dead after the first bit, then they're just looking at a wall ball for 15, 20 minutes. Like, that's not, but that's not any use either, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So
there's a 20-pound ball for them as well. It is, isn't it? They just do less repetitions.
Kilos. No, the pros will do a 20-pound ball.
Okay. Oh, okay.
6. Hang on, I'm just working it out. 30. It'd be 13 pound, 14 pound. Is it?
So
I see what you're saying.
Excuse, really.
But I sit there with
the whole. But no, and I'm cool. Yeah, for sure.
Well, not knowing how
but there's no. Right? But you can't finish. The difference between a CrossFit workout is that workout is for time. I mean, yeah, it's for time. So
cap in the high rocks race, you can't like cap.
No,
out.
there is. They're literally, and I've been on the receiving end of that. As in, I've been DJing, and it's like 11:30. I was in one event where the people who owned the building had to come and say, "You need to stop now." Because the person was still going 3.5, nearly 4 hours later, and it's like midnight. Yeah,
they gotta have like a ankle bracelet shot collar, the dogs, and it's like after 2 hours, it just like erupts. It's like, get me off the course.
Well, mine was, I did it in 2 hours and 45, which actually I was a bit quicker than I thought. I thought sub 3 hours, and
3 hour, 3 hour bracelet.
Yeah, 3 hours, I reckon.
When you don't make it.
Yeah, you're just dead.
Yeah, you're done.
I didn't know that they didn't have a time cap. I would have assumed that they'd eventually drag people off.
No.
Maybe they should introduce that.
Cool. I kind of like that.
But then it leans into the allowing people to no rep more, right? Because if the things between you and the end is 100 wall balls, and they let you off 10% of your wall balls, like, if they're if you're
10%.
10, I was going to say 10%. I think it's more than that.
I
videos
would like
I've
to
seen.
comment because I would like to work for them
like,
at some
people
point.
send me stuff from High Rocks. They're like, look at all these wall balls, and I'll see them, and I'm like, I don't even know what the standard is. I don't know if they have a standard of wall ball in High Rocks. I don't know if they know what the hell a hip crease is. I don't know. I don't know if they care.
The difficulty is,
care.
no, and it's the same as, it's not the same. It's similar in that they have standards, they have judging. The difficulty is they have these like little like square boxes that they put next, like behind you. So if you're not squatting to depth, they'll put like a box behind you. So like when your bum hits the box, you stand up. But for some people, that's not below the hip crease. So like what you're doing is rewarding somebody for not doing it. Like,
damn.
speaking of dragging people off, Jason's got to sleep. No, he doesn't. He hasn't got a Whoop.
Yeah, my Garmin never tells me that I need to. It is fun when you look in the next day and it's like body battery and it will say like charged 35, drained 60, and you're like, that's not good. I'm not great at maths, but even I know that's not good. So yeah. Anyway,
get out of here, Jason.
I moved my phone. Well, do you know what's funny is when I restarted this podcast, and I was doing the pre-recorded ones, and I was doing pre-recorded because I could bank them, which was very convenient, especially for like around the open time when I was traveling to different gyms and stuff. And I was like, oh, nice, I've got all the episodes ready, and I can just, I recorded like 4 episodes in 1 week, so I had a month worth of content. I was like, perfect. And then I watched a Coffee Pods and Wads with Savan, and they were talking about live shows and how much better it was and how much easier it was, and like why they'd never go back to doing the pre-recorded. And I was like, no, that's not. And we used to do this live, in the past, and so I was like, would be good to do them live again. But when I started doing them, I was like, I'm going to keep them really short. They'll be like half an hour. And so the first couple of episodes were like 35 minutes, and they crept up to sort of 40 minutes. And I was like, the idea is I'll keep them short, and then people will kind of, it'd be nice that it ends and they want more, not it ends and they're like, oh, that dragged. So that was the idea. And I was watching it slowly creep up, each episode getting a bit longer, a bit longer, a bit longer. And then as soon as they went live, they just spiraled out of control. So
you do have me and Hiller on the same podcast, so you know that, right?
Yeah. Well,
are you a chatterbox typically, Sam, or what?
Yeah, man. I was the reason that our podcasts were always over an hour.
And Sevan says that I won't let him get off his own show. We did a 4-hour show the other day. It was long.
I respect that.
That was my fault.
Okay. And before we go, can I give a shout out to Rising Tide? Is that allowed? Or are you going to do that again in a bit?
You can. I mean, they're sponsoring the video, so I think it would be fine. I don't think they'd mind.
Okay, cool. No, because I said, I went on and was like, after you posted, like all the proceeds will go to this particular one. I was like, sweet, how much am I getting paid? And then I realized that wasn't for me, so that was fine. And then I went on and I wanted to buy one, and I was like, sorry guys, I don't fit an XL, so can't really buy one. And they were like, what size are you? We'll make you one. So yeah, big shout out to the Rising Tide guys. So I've got the purple Joker no rep top coming my way when it comes out.
Yeah, sweet.
That's the one.
Well, this is So I worked with Rising Tide. They sponsored me for the Open Tour, which was really good. And that was kind of during a OG Culture time when they were releasing some stuff. And then they've teamed up with Vindicate. I see Travis is there.
Yeah.
And so they did like all the Coffee Pods and Wads shirts for the UK Europe stuff. And now they've done the Hiller shirts. And I'm sure they've got plans for others, but like for us, it's really good because the shipping fees from the US are ridiculous. Like, and I mean, again, let's not, bash what CrossFit are doing, but they made a t-shirt for the Open, right? So sign up for the Open, get the t-shirt for the Open. The shipping was the same price as the t-shirt. So I'm not doing
that. It's a $60 t-shirt. It's like no ball all over again.
Yeah. So like for us, someone like Rising Tide, it's great because they're working with, mostly kind of content creators at the moment. But like I'm really happy that they're working with Travis because I don't know what other kind of Vindicate stuff might make its way over the shores. to us in the future. But like that's great because no one wants to pay $20 for shipping on top of a t-shirt. So it's like, great, I want to support you, but you're not seeing that money. That's not money for you. Like if it's shipping money, it's not money for Travis. It's not money that then gets fed back to you. It's not money. It's just, it's gone, basically. So yeah. So I'm very happy with what I think they're a great thing for us in the UK and Europe, for our side of the community, to be providing this service.
$35 to go to Australia. God, that's wild.
It's mad.
Yeah.
That is mad.
I got I bought some like coffee table books, so like heavy hardback books. It was like 2 books and a t-shirt from Australia from a podcast that offered free shipping.
Nice.
And so I didn't, and also the books were like ridiculously discounted because the guy that made them for them had they'd sold so well. They'd like done 2 versions of this book, and the first one had sold really well, and so they'd done the second order. The second one had also sold pretty well, so off his own back he went and did another massive order, and they ended up just having so much extra stock, so they made him stamp all of them, and you could buy these books really cheap. And there's a stamp in the front cover that says like, "I took advantage of a madman," and that's on your copy of the book if you bought the cheap one. So yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah. So I've got those, but yeah, I mean, anything from, look at this. Zach, he knows, he's there. 55.
What's Bahrain? Bahrain.
Canada is terrible as well. Bahrain, that's a place, isn't it? Yeah.
United
Canada is
States.
terrible as well. Is Canada just terrible? Is that just a statement, or?
yeah. Canada is terrible as well. I'm assuming he's talking about shipping to the US. Where is Escape Sound based then?
I think they're from Australia.
I
don't know that for sure, but if I had to guess, and they'll tell me if I'm wrong.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, there we go. Well, thank you for that shout out. I'm sure they will appreciate it. They were listening earlier, but I don't know if they're still on. I'd imagine they've probably been smart and gone to bed. Because it will also be very late for them as well.
Oh, from Leeds, UK.
It sounds as in Leeds.
Oh, from Leeds. Okay.
I was wrong.
Now, I'm not going to give any context to this comment, but I'm really hoping Escape Sounds didn't listen to my episode with Athena and Andreas Solberg, but doesn't matter. Just
did it have the common football chant in the UK?
No, it didn't.
No. We all ate Leeds. We all ate Leeds. We all ate Leeds. Yeah, that one. You know it. Everyone knows it. No, I don't know. You should. Why the hell don't you?
That's probably a United States thing, homie.
They call you what?
Is that soccer?
It is soccer.
Soccer's like the most god-awful sport on the planet. It's like, let's kick a ball around for 10 hours and no one scores anything. It's like, shoot off again.
Shoot off again.
Whatever it's called.
Love it. I love it. Oh, man. This is
like hockey. I don't like hockey either. Hockey's a Canadian. I'm like, I don't get it. It's like you watch them roll around and they just miss. It's like, oh, it sucks.
See, I honestly don't really watch any sports apart from CrossFit. That's the only thing. And instead of watching loads of sports, I spent my time, particularly growing up when my brother was watching lots of sports, I was watching lots of movies. So I'm one of the few people that is watching your videos and being like, yep, seen that.
Did you see
maybe some
one today? I wonder how many people got that Galaxy Quest with Tim Allen. I put him in there today.
Galaxy Quest is amazing. That is
a great film.
It's considered one of the best Star Trek movies never made because it's so good. Yeah. No, I love that. And was it so this is so stupid. So there was always this theory that like odd numbered Star Trek movies were terrible, right? So like the first one was bad, number 2 Wrath of Khan was good, number 3 was bad, number 4 was good. So it was all of that. And then when they started doing like the newer ones, it flipped and it became the odd number ones were good. So like number 1 was good, Into Darkness was bad, number 3 was good. And the theory is the reason it flipped is because in between you have Galaxy Quest. So that should count. And so if that counts, then it means that actually the others are still following the odd number kind of thing. So
I love Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. And what was the other one? You had was it Happy Gilmore that it cut to a couple of times in that video. Yeah. With Ben
and I hadn't used those in a while. I don't know why. I was just like looking through, like, what do I want to plug in here today?
Yeah. So don't, as long as you keep to movie references and not sports references, we'll be fine. I'll follow along quite happily. But
just like nanos.
People were pretty big on the Scream reference. It's like, you gotta know the rules. Like, you guys don't know the rules.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. I mean that was like trying to be Hiller before Hiller. Like that was very meta Scream. No, it was sort of bringing in the movie quotes to back up their theories, but they were talking about surviving a killer and not surviving a CrossFit workout. Oh wow! I'm happy to end on this very positive run. So thank you, Andrew, for coming on. Thank you, Sam, for coming back as a guest. Oh, it's been like a trip down memory lane as well for me. That. Thank you everyone for watching. A lot more than usual. They must have known Sam was coming on. It's the only thing that makes sense. Plate Stack Chat will be back next week. It will be on Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the UK. It's more reasonable for me. 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. I will be joined by two more great guests, and they will be Nick, who is more commonly known as Wad Zombie, and CrossFit Fairfield's own Keith Knapp as well. So hopefully we'll see you all then. In the meantime, thank you once again to Andrew, Sam, everybody in the comments. Good night for us, and a good day for you guys, I guess.
Right.
Peace out.
See you, Sam.